Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike Payne. I'm a session guitarist based in Nashville. Today we're going to be looking at tenths. Okay, it's an interval and it's essentially just an octave plus a third. I love using tenths in the studio. They sometimes provide the hook of the song, and oftentimes they can lend themselves to texture parts as well. And because it's a fairly wide interval, it doesn't take up as much space, which leaves room for the vocal and other parts of the instrumentation. So let's jump right to it. Grab your guitar and follow along with me for this. We're going to be looking at starting with the 6-string root. Chord will be in G major. And okay, so what is a tenth? All right, so let's just look at our G major triad first. Right, G, B, D. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this third here, the B, and move it up an octave. All right, so we're left with, all right, that is our 10th interval. Another way to look at it is if you take the G major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? And then you add another 3 on top of that. So 1, 2, 3, okay? All right. So that's our G major, just 2 notes. Now let's make this a minor chord. So once again, here's our G major. So we're just going to take our major third here, the B, and move it to B flat. And that gives us our G minor. All right, so once again, major, G, B, and this is 3rd string, right? G, B, G, and B flat for the minor. Okay, so we're going to stay in the key of G, but I'm going to move up to our G here on the 5th string root. So we have our G major. So again, let's establish this. So G major triad, right? G, B, D, and we're going to take our third, the B, and move it up an octave. All right, so we have G and B. Now, in order to make that minor, we're going to turn that B into a B flat. Okay? Hopefully this is making sense so far. Now that we have some common voicings for this chord, for this interval rather, let's look at the G major scale again, but now we're going to put a chord on each scale tone. All right, so G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp, technically F sharp half diminished, right? Could also be a 5/7 or a G over, a D over F sharp, and then finally up to the octave there. So once again, all right. And for most of these examples, I'm just using my fingers, like a thumb and middle finger for these, and just kind of pulling. Okay. So now let's continue this G major scale, but we'll be doing it on the 5th string now. So we'll pick up the G major scale on the 3rd, on the B. Right, so here's our 10th, our 3 minor. We'll be moving to the 4, the 5, the D major, E minor. There's that D over F sharp, or F sharp minor. There's our root, our G, our A minor, 2 minor. Okay. One more time on that 5th string. Okay. And then you can walk it down if you like. All right, so that's a really good way to practice just getting comfortable with these shapes. And for fingering, I'm using like let's see, 1st, and then I'll shift to my 2nd finger for the minor shape, keeping the 3rd finger on the 3rd of the chord, or on the 10th, I guess. Right? And then I keep my 1st and 3rd there. Right, so all the minor chords I'm shifting to putting the my 2nd finger in the bass, or on the 6th string. Right? And then for the major, I go back to the 1st finger there, 2nd finger for the bass, and then at the octave, I switch, of course, back to the 1st finger. All right. So far, so good, okay? Let's look at a couple of applications. We could do a rock thing with this, almost chili pepper-ish kind of an idea. I'm in C. So here's a C major, 10th interval here, the C and the E up there on the 2nd string. And I'm just gonna go, let's see, from here to the 3 minor, and then the 4, the F major. So these are my 3 chords for this example. Okay, for a pop type of a treatment, I'll add a little bit of reverb and do something like this. So I'm going to be in the key of D for this example. Here's our B minor. Okay, this would be the 6 minor. And then the 5, the A major chord, to the 3 minor, or 1 over 3, to the 4 major, the G. Okay? And the pattern goes something like this. Okay? Kind of a cool pop thing, again, adding a little bit of reverb and even sometimes delay to these shapes can really be effective because again, the wider intervals, the chords aren't as dense, so you can kind of get away with murder when it comes to adding effects to your taste. Chorus is even another great thing to add sometimes to this sound. So let's do one more application idea, and I'm going to use a pick and a hybrid picking style for this one. So I'll be playing the low notes with the pick, and the high notes I'm going to play for this example with my ring finger, all right? And we'll just basically pulse this. I call this kind of an eighth note pulse idea. Same exact chord progression, right? So B minor, A, D over F sharp, to G. But I'm gonna pulse this here. Check this out. Right? Another really cool way to approach using tenths. In fact, I did a similar part on a song yesterday that kind of helped to inspire actually this video. So I hope that this kind of gets you guys into a good, like a jumping off point if tenths are brand new to you. It's a really cool thing to explore. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments about this or some other techniques that you're interested in learning. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do that. As I'm growing the channel, it helps out so much. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.